Hi, I'm Steven. I know there's many people playing beautiful music and speaking tonight, so I'll keep my remarks fairly short and focused on one narrow thing that I think was just one of Philip's remarkable characteristics, which was really the joy and passion that he had in every note through the hardest times and through no matter how much sadness he was expressing in the music he was playing, there was still such a deep joy that I feel like he took. And I want to talk about a couple of things that he taught me, that he instilled in me. So I first met Philip 16 years ago. Juanita Arabella was my guitar teacher as a kid, and before I went to, who's sitting in the front row here, and before I went to college and music school, she thought my senior year of high school I should have the chance to study with a truly one of the world's best guitarists, and introduced me to Philip. And that senior year, every Wednesday evening from 3 until 8, 9, 10, whenever Philip felt like leaving, we would spend time together. Sometimes he'd play that whole time, and it would just be the most amazing experience. Like Nigel said, Jeff recounted, and other times he'd just want me to work through everything I'd ever worked on him, and sometimes he'd just talk about and tell stories the whole time. Since I went off to school and have been playing since then, I now live up in Oregon. Whenever I've had a chance to come down to the Bay Area, I always have gotten together for a lesson with Philip and have relished those times. So as I said, 3 moments that kind of reflect something that I found so unique about him in the guitar world. The first one was, I remember he once told me when he was talking about competitions and how to play in them that joy is the highest form of concentration, and that he attributed that to a Zen master he knew, and as many of you know, he always attributed things. He always believed in credit where credit was due. So but he said that if you're playing and if you're focused on anything other than the joy, you're not concentrating fully on the music. If there's anything else that gets in the way, that's getting in the way of the music. And if you could learn to do that in a competition, you could learn to have joy anywhere. That's like the second is he talked about playing scales. He talked about the every note, the kind of, I forget the words he used, but the miracle of the ability to produce sound and the sensation of your fingers on the guitar, and that if you could just be in that, then there's no way that a scale could ever be boring. Like, that's such a miraculous thing. You could do it forever, and I feel like that spoke to how he played. And then the third thing, the third moment was the December before last. I was down here performing with the violinist I play with, and after a concert we had a lesson with him working on a couple of pieces, and it was fairly short. He was not in great shape that afternoon, and but just from the couple of times he picked up the guitar and played a couple of notes when we were leaving, the violinist I played with, who studied with world-class violinists around the world, she said when he touched the guitar, you could tell that every single note had a purpose. There was not any note was taken for granted, and how rare that was in all musicians she's seen, and that was so evident in Philip from that little glimpse that she saw. And I felt like I couldn't say better myself what was so miraculous about him and his playing.